make music soon.
The following presentation is brought to you by the Alberta Podcast Network. Welcome to the Northern Nerdcast, the podcast that showcases the geeky, nerdy people, groups, and events in and around the city of Edmonton. Northern Nerdcast is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. Visit their website at albertapodcastnetwork.com. If you like the show, we invite you to share it on all of your social media platforms and help grow our community of geeky, nerdy people, groups, and events in and around the city of Edmonton. Would you like to be a contributor to the show? For more information, visit our website at northernnerdnetwork.com. And now, here's the host of the show, Dan Schessel.
All right. Welcome to another edition of the Nerdcast. My name is Dan Schessel. Tonight we have, sitting right beside me, none other than Samantha Woods.
Damn, you always call me Samantha.
I knew. Look at this.
Just...
We have someone on the chat right now. He's so excited to see Sam.
Oh, hi, Aaron. Oh, sorry, Aaron.
Aaron. We also have tonight joining us the band Experience Points. I'm going to let you guys all introduce yourselves because you guys got three people there and I don't know any of your guys' names.
Sick. Okay. Well, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Ryan.
I am Aretha.
Like Franklin?
That's correct.
Wow, there we go. So we're going to talk a bit about Experience Points later on in the show here. But first off, we always like to start off every episode by asking all of our guests what they have on their geek shelf. So I don't know, because we started this podcast like within like a minute. You guys were like showing up right at the
due to technical difficulties brought to you by the internet.
We're not letting the internet beat us tonight.
No, we're not.
So I'm going to ask you guys what you guys may have on your geek shelf. I don't know if you guys went through our email thing.
We did.
Okay, good. So what do you guys have on your geek shelf?
Do you want to go first?
Okay. Yeah. It happens so much it's become a running joke, like who is gonna say my name like that?
That was an accident. I'm going to blame the bottle of wine that Dan provided me with this evening.
That's right.
That's how he gets me to do podcasts. He's like, I have wine. I'm like, I'll be right over. So Miss Franklin.
Dude, that might be easier.
Yeah.
It might be.
Maybe. As we get on. So what's on your geek shelf?
You know, I have this Rush tablature book. I play bass in the band, so that's pretty dorky, I think. Like, Rush is so dorky, so...
I like that.
Yeah.
It's the nerd thing, right? Like the thing that gives you, like, the nerdgasm.
Yeah,
right?
you know it's dorky because you go to a Rush concert and there's maybe 4 women in the whole audience, so it's like must be pretty dorky.
So it's a niche, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a niche.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's cool.
I brought a Quake 2 jewel case and manual. So there's
Oh, wow.
See, now there's something that you don't see every day.
I haven't played that in years.
Yeah.
Now what's so special about Quake for you?
It's one of the games I grew up with since I was little, and that's kind of the area that I found to fell in love with video games was like the late 90s, early 2000s shooters.
So that's sort of what you're going to tell me. Like, we're going to talk about some of your guys' like music a little bit later on, but I know it's a lot of influenced by video games. So is that sort of where your love of video games started? Is with Quake then?
Not with Quake, but that was definitely one of the forerunners, I guess. Like along with like Doom is a big one, and like Wolfenstein and Half-Life.
Mm-hmm.
But Quake,
GoldenEye, come on, right? Like, yeah. I sucked at that game. And when we would play like in teams, and you'd like turn to face the wall so they couldn't find out where you were. We've all been there.
I was never smart enough to figure out that strategy. Dang it.
Now what you need to get is like one of those retro pies and then replay it knowing this. And
that's true. I still have my N64. Could do it.
Oh, me too. I found it in a bin and I was like, I don't know where the games are.
You don't know where the games are?
No, I found the N64 and I found the controllers. I have no idea where the games are.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah, I might bring it over to join your collection of things.
They're all up there.
Yeah, you can't see, but Dan has an assortment of consoles, just like stacked high.
Cool.
It's pretty awesome.
It's good.
Yeah. I'm just like right now because we're going through my parents' place. We're trying to sort through a lot of their stuff. They're trying to downsize. I know that there's an Atari 2600 somewhere in the pile of stuff that I'm trying to find. I know it's there. I need to find it.
Intellivision.
It's also there.
I have one. I love Intellivision.
Yeah.
Jordan and I hooked it up the other day and we were like, hit fall. Damn it. Damn it. It was good. It was good times. Anyways, and what do you play in the band there?
I play drums.
You play drums?
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna move on to, is it Stephanie?
It is.
Hey.
Well, do you like Steph or do you like Stephanie?
I like Stephanie.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, I'm just asking, right? Sam over Samantha.
Thank you for
Even
asking.
though I call you Samantha.
I know you call me Samantha. The only other person to call me Samantha is my mother, and all I hear is Samantha, and I'm like, God, what did I do?
Yeah,
and I'm
you're in
in
trouble.
my 30s, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you didn't do this, and I was like, I'm sorry, Mom.
Anyway, Stephanie, what do you have on your geek shelf?
I brought two because they're different. I brought an ocarina. It's a 6-hole one.
Nice.
And since buying it, I've learned the regular is an 8 holes, so it doesn't do much.
Oh.
Other than I'm really bad at it. But yeah, I got it from a musical instruments museum in Phoenix, so I thought that was neat.
Nice.
And then I brought a TARDIS that lights up when you press the bottom. Ooh, those are my nerdy things.
I
Yeah.
hear those are bigger on the inside.
Yeah, I can't open it though, so I'll never know.
Oh. I saw a really cool Christmas ornament this year that I was like severely tempted to buy on Etsy, but then I couldn't justify like $60.
$60 for an ornament?
But it's like it spun and it made the noise, like the TARDIS noise, and it lit up and stuff. And I was like, whoa. But I was like, no. One Christmas ornament comes out once a year for like 3 weeks.
Mhm.
$60 is too much money.
Mhm.
You should have asked for it for Christmas, so it's a present.
I buy myself my own Christmas present.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
My family,
yeah.
we once we got to be like adults, I say that
I'll be right
loosely
back.
because it just means age and not like maturity level. We're it's like it's more of a game now, so we have a limit of like $10 to $20 that you spend, and you have to buy somebody something, or it has to be found in your house, and that's what we trade instead of actually like spending a ton of money, because like we're all like we can all buy our own stuff, right? And being like, hey Mom, this weird thing, so I need you to go online and make a credit card purchase, and like that just is like I don't even want to get my mom involved in trying to make internet purchases.
I do like at the conventions when I hear people playing the what is it, the flute there? What
The
is
ocarina.
Ocarina?
Yes.
So it's not the Ocarina of Time, according to AA Ron.
No.
He's saying in the chat here.
But I do love when people are playing that because it just sounds amazing.
That sounds really cool.
Oh, not when I play it.
Well, what all I'm hearing is you just need more practice.
That's true. True story.
It's like,
It's gonna happen. I believe in it.
so, like what? We'll say we'll give you 3 months, and
Yeah.
then we'll have you back, and you better play out the song by then. That long time?
Is that how it works?
I don't know.
Yeah, sure. 3 months. That's all you get.
I played the trumpet in high school, and that was my.
That took you
Oh,
3
and
months
the
to figure out.
No, I played that all the way junior high and high school, so I had like 7 years trumpet, but let's not talk about going back to school for an extra year. It's fine. But like, I mean, everybody's played the recorder, so the ocarina's kind of like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait, and sorry, what do you play in the band then, Stephanie? Sorry.
It's all good. I play keyboard.
Keyboards.
Nice.
So we've got bass, drums, keyboard.
Yes, and our guitarist couldn't be here today.
Oh, okay. And anybody sings?
No.
No.
Okay.
Not in public.
Yeah. No, I've been there. Shower and like car.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
And bedtime songs when I'm babysitting really badly.
So Samantha,
Daniel.
I do go by Daniel. But
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna have this argument every time we do this.
How was your week? It's like you're not ever on the show anymore.
No, not around the show anymore, but I am at your house every other day.
You are.
I don't know. My week's been insane. I've decided I have too many things, so I am currently purging. I've decided I needed to like purge a third of my closet. So I counted all my shoes, and I had 60 pairs, not counting shoes I used for costume or like specialty shoes, like my hiking boots, my winter boots, my rain boots, all those other things. So I got rid of 20 pairs of shoes.
Wow, 20 pairs of shoes?
Was it 60?
You had 20 pairs of shoes?
I had 60 pairs of shoes.
60 pairs of shoes.
And 1/3 of that is 20. Yes, I know. I'm ridiculous. I have a problem. I am acknowledging this. But some of them are really pretty. Like I bought like Ardeen. God, I love Ardeen. You go there and they have like these massive clear outs, and you're just like, oh, I can get like 4 pairs of shoes for $20. And that's fine. I have all these like glitter sparkly heels, like platform 6-inch. I'm like, when am I going to wear these? I don't know, but I love them. And they sit there in a box.
But they're so pretty.
So I had a real like, okay, I have too many shoes. So I kept all my Star Wars ones.
Yep, which is important.
Obviously, yeah, but I got rid of like the stupid ones that I'm never going to wear.
My Star Wars shoes are coming to their end.
I know. I saw the new pair Trina got you.
I know.
They're fine.
I had to actually get a new pair of shoes.
He did.
Because my other ones have holes in them now.
They were bad.
Sad.
Even after Trina told me that, I Googled for Vans to see if they were still doing the Star Wars line, and they're not.
They're not.
Oh, but I forgot to tell her. So Trina, Dan's wife, is currently in Vegas right now.
Trina did find some Spider-Man shoes down.
Did she? Because I was going to tell her to hit the Vans outlet and like see. If
she found some. I told her not to buy them.
Why?
Because they're $60.
Ugh. Whatever.
See, look at this. Wait, there they are. Look at that. I'm showing Sam a picture of the Vans.
Okay,
they're pretty sweet looking.
Those are,
people,
60.
I know.
I
don't think you can see it. They're pretty sweet looking.
Oh, yeah.
You should just post it.
I will post it on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
There we go.
So they were
which nobody ever goes to, by the way.
Facebook.
Who uses Facebook anymore?
So
do you guys use Facebook?
We do, yeah.
So your band's on Facebook. This would be a really good place to insert your band name with your Facebook page that people could like it.
It's true.
It's true.
Oh, I see what's happening. I mean,
there's ways of plugging things.
Clearly,
okay.
we're not experienced in that.
I know. We'll get there anyways. It's okay.
Get a second chance.
What? So sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What was your Facebook page?
I didn't. Oh yes, it's experience points.
And so just go to Facebook, search experience points, and everybody should just find your Facebook page there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
like
so.
it and follow and all that stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, so anyways, with my purging and selling, I've been posting a lot to the Facebook Marketplace actually, and Kijiji to sell off a lot. I have a lot of chairs in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I really like, you know, when you wake up that one day and you're like, you look around and you're like, in this room, I have 2 couches and 5 chairs. It's not a big room. I was like, okay. So having a real assessment of like the things that hold value. Sam
also helped me buy the chairs also for my house.
And a table.
Look at the ones that we're sitting on right now, which are swivel ones. We got 8 of those.
Yeah,
Wow.
from Kijiji. 8 tables plus this nice desk
There's
table thing that you're. Oh no, wait.
I'm
8
getting
chairs, not tables.
It's 8 chairs, a table. It's very
It
large.
was like $100.
It was a lot. Yeah. I also have a lot of chairs now too.
No, but you needed them. So I don't know if anybody's seen, but like, so one of Dan and I have date days, and we go out and we do like friend stuff that we do. And this past Thursday, we updated his gaming table. So he's got a square hard gaming table, but he wanted to put foam on it. So when you pick up the card, you're not like, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you can't do that off of like a hard table. You can't slide it all the time. It's terrible.
So we put a layer of foam, and then I had some like fleece that we like covered and stapled under.
Which I showed off last week.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Good. But these 8 chairs fit perfectly around it.
Mm-hmm. It does. No, they're fantastic.
Fine.
I'm not complaining about the chairs. I'm saying we just got more chairs, and we have other chairs still here.
But these are perfect for our extra.
They're great. I love these chairs
coming up too.
Yeah. There's a secret special thing that we're going to talk about one day. One day.
But yeah,
it's going to happen.
A lot of that. I signed up for yoga teacher training, so that's going to be fun. God, what else has happened in my life?
There's lots.
My life's been insane.
My
Xbox crapped out.
Yeah,
I bought a new one from the Facebook Marketplace because that's where I've been living, and I couldn't. I was looking at the prices of the Xbox ones, and then they're just so expensive still. And I'm like, I'm really good with the 360. I like it, and it also comes in other colors, which is really nice. So I bought a white one this time.
Wow.
You can also get a white Xbox One.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, but I don't have $500.
They don't cost $500.
300 or whatever. Could you get me an Xbox One with 2 controllers, all of the things, a wireless adapter, 5 games for like $70?
Maybe.
No.
It's possible.
No, the answer is no, is what that is. So,
I'll sell you mine.
I don't want your Xbox One. It's not white. I wanted the
fair enough.
white one.
All right.
All right. So Dan, what's your week been like?
My week has been pretty good actually. Trina left me
to go to Vegas.
For her birthday.
Yeah. She got to see Celine Dion.
Yeah.
She had a lot of fun.
She is having fun. Yeah, she's going to the Grand Canyon today. She's sending me a lot of pictures of how awesome of a time she's having, and I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah,
just saying.
It's her girls' weekend.
It's fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty good. I've been watching The Boys. We've been having a great time. I've been spoiling them rotten.
Yeah, lots of cake and juice and cookies.
They get juice. They don't normally get juice, but with Dad just in charge, we're getting juice.
Also, Sam came over for supper, so I brought cupcakes.
Yep.
Because, I'm a great friend that way. Hey, let's have sugar right before bed.
Yeah. Which is fantastic because I'm sure they're still awake right now. They're fine. They haven't fallen.
Well, no. The other day I caught Mal reading comic books.
Oh yeah.
It was like 9:30 and I heard something.
He'll be like at 12 o'clock at night. He'll be still reading. And it's like, go to bed. For heaven's sakes, you're like you're 4 years old.
He really likes his comics though.
Yeah, he's terrible.
So let's start with you, Steph. What's your week been like?
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I wrote a musical for Next Fest and it played last week. That was pretty much my week, was that show.
Nice.
What's it about?
It was about this guy named Pretty Boy Floyd who's real, and based off him, he lived in the 30s and he was a bank robber who also ripped up people's mortgages, so the poor people really liked him. Mm-hmm. And then he died. Oh. And that's how it ends. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so it's just about his life and all the true events behind that. And I wrote music. I didn't write any of the words. I'm not a word person.
Okay, you're just a music note kind of guy.
Yeah. It was good. It was fun.
So, wait, are you like Jack Black in The Holiday? Am I the only one that's seen this rom-com?
I don't know that movie. No.
He is. He works in like movie stuff behind the scenes, like doing all like the behind the scenes noises and things, like when somebody enters
the Foley man.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's not like the sound of like feet crunching, but it's like the Jaws noise, the dun 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 dun. He's the guy that makes those things. And he meets a girl, and because it's a rom-com, and because I'm totally tangenting, FYI.
No, yeah,
but
that's
anyways.
what we do on this show. Is how we work.
That's how we work. So, and then anyways, he meets her, and then he takes her to like Blockbuster, which is really dating the movie. Just so we know. But then that's how he seduces her, is by telling her all the cool things about like movies and how like the music has like helped shape a lot of. And anyways, that was one of the really first. So you're Jack Black, is what I'm getting at.
Yes, and I will seduce someone that way as well.
See,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Done.
Awesome.
What was it? It was not. She's British because it was like Jack Black and Cameron Diaz was in it. Who's the other girl? I'm gonna find this out. Anyways, Mr. Drummer Boy, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Played quite a few gigs throughout the week. Did a few played a few convocations for U of A.
Cool. Like as a drummer, do you play other instruments or?
I played drum kit with this band, and then I also work as a percussionist too. So I play for these convocations, I'd play like timpani and other sorts of percussion.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Timpani. I've always thought those were super cool. Where it's like, because like I've been in the pit at like the Winspear and the Jubilee and stuff, and you see these, and you're just like, can I just go bang on it a little? And you get to do that. Do you know how exciting that is? You can be like, yes, boom, right? Like, amazing. And like cymbals, right? Do you do cymbals like that?
Yeah, I do play crash cymbals too.
Right? Like how
Nice.
cool is that? Like that is like the dream of every kid watching your orchestra to be like, I
I want to be the
dude.
triangle man. That's honestly,
Right?
that's where it's at.
But like you could just like sorry, no, it's not together, it's a up number, right? This is my like
Sorry, what was that?
Like when you hit the angle.
Oh yeah, you kind of hit them, I guess, slightly out of angle. You don't want to hit them at the exact same time because then like yeah, you just get like a vacuum of air.
Oh, did they ever stick and like you can't like
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you hit it and then it'll just stick and then make most.
I did not know that was a thing. Wow.
the more you know. First week.
Yeah,
Right, there we go.
there we go.
Okay. And Miss Franklin, how's your week?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same idea. I had a bunch of gigs. I'm sort of prepping. I got asked to be a music director, so it's weird that a bass player would do that, but I do a lot of musicals, so I've been like cutting and pasting parts and stuff on top of my gigs. So same idea, just
That's cool. So you guys had a lot of gigs this week?
yeah.
Like how many?
That way.
No.
I mean, look at my
man.
schedule.
So what I'm hearing is you're popular and in demand.
Well, we also have to make rent, so yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Money,
say I had
right?
6 shows this week.
Whoa.
6?
Okay.
Damn, that's a lot. Well, I guess it is a full-time job. You guys like have like full-time jobs on top of playing in the band?
Playing in other bands.
Yeah.
There's music.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Okay, so
All right, we're gonna get to that all later.
wait. It
Oh,
was
wait.
Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, and Jack Black.
There we go.
The Holiday, 2016. Two women troubled with guy problems swap homes in each other's countries, where they each meet a local guy and fall in love.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's on Netflix. Just watch it. Anyways,
All right.
that's what I got.
All right, so we are going to get to talking to experience points here. But first, we're going to take a quick little break, and we will be right back. So stick to it, stick tight. I don't know what.
Stay here.
Stay. Don't move.
Don't go.
Don't go anywhere, because you want to be here for the next part. As I am trying to.
Is Daniel's having more phone troubles?
Well, I'm trying to like.
The internet's winning. The internet is winning.
It is not winning.
How are you?
I'm just trying to like bide time while I'm trying to find things. That's how that works.
Cool.
All right. So this episode of the Nerdcast is brought to you by the Edmonton Community Foundation.
The Edmonton Community Foundation connects you and to the resources you need. With their help, donors Donors are able to make the best decision for their funds. Students can find the grants that help them succeed. Charities are able to fund their latest projects. They build relationships that strengthen the Edmonton community because connecting people is what they do best.
And this month, the Edmonton Community Foundation also has their podcast, the Well Endowed Podcast. And this month, we hear from the Olympians. A Paralympian Nordic skier, Brian McKeever, shares his passion for skiing and what he has learned from his family. And we speak to Jen Kish. Jen is a captain of the Canada's women's sevens rugby team for the Olympic Games at Rio in 2016. She shares her thoughts on diversity and inclusion in sports and all that kind of fun stuff. You guys can find out more at the Edmonton Community Foundation at ecf.org, or you guys can go on over to the Well Endowed Podcast at thewellendowedpodcast.com for all that stuff. So if you want to check that out, we encourage that. So that is the Edmonton Community Foundation and the Well Endowed Podcast. Woot woot. All right, that was smooth. We're
smooth like a gravel road.
Yeah. All right. So on today's edition of the Nerdcast, we are talking with Experience Points, the band. I should have the group,
the musical trio? No, wait.
There's quad.
Quartet. Is it a quartet?
Band's good.
Band. We're gonna go with band. All right. So I'm gonna start with you guys by asking you guys. So where did Experience Points come from? Like, what birthed this passion for you guys?
I'll
go with Stephanie first because she's just.
I'm wondering.
Like what started the Experience Points? Well, like, what brought you guys together?
What made you go, hey, I got an idea.
Like, we should do this.
Let's make a band.
Yeah. I guess it was my fault. I had a friend who was running a multicultural event last year, and he knows I play in bands, so he asked if I was in any that played video game music, and I said no. And he's like, well, can you? And I was like, okay. So then we just kind of put it together for that show. Yeah, so it was really because someone else asked for it, but then it was great. So we're like, let's keep doing it.
That's sweet.
Now that is a way to start a band right there. Like,
yeah, I guess I can do that.
That's what the people want.
Like, I can play video game stuff. Why not?
So do you like what kind of gigs do you guys do? Do you get like birthdays, weddings?
No. What do we? I can't think. We were like almost a year old, so we actually haven't had that many gigs. But it's been like a lot of like we played Zelda trivia at bars, so that was all Zelda music.
Sweet.
And then we played Direct Play Expo, so it was a gaming expo.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And then we just played the Yardbird Suite, which is known for jazz, so we were a little bit out there, but we're jazzy, so it was okay.
Oh yeah, you can pull out some like, like old school Final Fantasy. Like, I hear ya. Okay.
So yeah. What kind of music, when people are coming to your guys' website or wherever to come and see you guys or hear your music, what kind of music are they going to hear from you guys?
We think we call it jazz funk, but it's pretty. I think groove-based music is a good way to put it, because there's like we have like I don't know if you know Banjo-Kazooie music. It's pretty bluegrass, so not jazz funk at all, which is why it's hard to define.
Jazz funk, not really that at all.
Like video games like pull from a ton of different genres and like things like that within the musical like spectrum. So it's really hard to be like, well, what do you do when you play all of the things?
Yeah, we definitely like it's good to stick to a niche. Like we haven't done much of the orchestral stuff, for instance, because we are not an orchestra. That being said, I want to try to find a way to do it somehow. Just haven't figured it out yet.
There's gotta be a way.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Board where you can be like, violin, right? I don't know. I'm just remembering my keyboard from when I was 6. That would be
That's a terrible way to do.
I know. Right? You'd be put this and you push this and then you play and then it I don't know. That's what I.
Oh yeah, but it's also cool to rearrange it to sound like us instead of us sound like it. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it also gives us our own sound as a band, I think.
Yeah,
instead of just any other band.
That's cool. That gives you separation from what other people when you think because you've gone to the Windsphere. They had that video game night.
Yeah, video game music
live or whatever, right? So it gives you a sub off that, right?
Yeah.
Something that not everybody's expecting because when you hear video game music, you're like, oh, like Mario, right?
So my question is, what songs have you guys pulled from?
Oh, maybe you want to answer.
Which games have you guys pulled from?
We've done Zelda, Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, Sonic, Mega Man, Undertale, Katamari Damacy. Am I missing anything? Donkey Kong.
That's a good one. So is it more retro games that you're going for, or?
I think that's where we've started, but we're we've been doing our most recent gig. We did Undertale, so we're definitely getting newer.
Get any requests for Minecraft or anything like that lately, or?
Not Minecraft. I got one for Fez recently.
I don't even know what that is.
It's on Steam. That's how I know it. And it's the composer's Disaster Piece, and he's an electronic artist. So it's very electronic. So that's why we haven't done it yet, because I haven't figured out how to make it live people yet.
See, now that's the question, because you guys are just a band, right? You guys have your guitar and drums and it's actual instruments. How is that translating from, let's say, something that's more synthetic sounding, from the NES to an actual guitar, or how do you guys do that?
Well, some of the sounds are so clearly someone who has put it in a computer and it can't be done by humans, so we have to simplify the lines that way. Otherwise, it's just a matter of an aesthetic choice, I want guitar to make this sound, or completely rearranging it and I'll add a drum beat to it and then have the band play the melody, and it has nothing to do with the original sound. It's more just the melody that was there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. See, I like that. That makes sense to me, because that would be our because there's also when you're when you brought up that we were doing this podcast with them, and I was so there's one guy with, a recording and they push play. How does that work? So that's actually really good to hear, because I was wondering, I was how do you translate that, because not all the video games have real music, I guess you could say. Well,
real instruments.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
There's no people. Yeah.
So let me ask. Let's go with your drummer boy here, because I can't remember your name.
Ryan.
Sorry, what was it? Was it
Ryan?
Ryan. Thank you. I'm terrible with names. All right, I got Aretha, Stephanie, and we haven't really said Ryan's name very much.
You got Miss Franklin, Ryan, and Stephanie.
Okay. Anyways, Ryan, what made you join Experience Points? Why did you get involved with this crew here?
I actually didn't play with Experience Points on until a tiny bit later on, but I started getting involved with them because I guess Stephanie asked me to do a gig with them, and I said yes to it.
That's how a lot of things happen. Is you're just hey, do you want to come join me on this? Right.
Let's go into a little bit more on do you have a passion for video games, or is it just something you have a passion for music, and video game music was kind of a thing that was presented to you.
We know he likes you.
This is true, but I'm just
I've been in love with old shooters and stuff ever since I was little, and I think I actually got into drums through video games because I actually started playing Rock Band, like the game.
Oh yeah.
Before I started playing real drums, and that was kind of how I got into drums, and kind of how I like started learning all the beats and everything. So
how long have you been playing drums for then? Rock Band was only. I think
I've been playing.
That's the thing. It's a lot longer than you think it is. We are old folks here on the Nerdcast.
Oh god. So purging my house, I found my old school Dance Revolution mat.
Nice. Yeah.
I may have like put it out and then tried it and then had to sit for a while because I was like, oh, I pulled something.
I can't do that anymore.
I was like, all right, well, that's a thing. But yeah, so sorry. How long have you been playing drums for then?
I'd say since about when I was in grade 6 or 7. I don't know how many years that would be. Maybe around like, I guess maybe 9 or 10-ish years, I would say.
Oh,
around 10 is a general number.
I'm gonna need more wine now. Sorry, I have these moments where when you hit your 30s, everybody's either your age or young. And there's like no weird in between.
Okay. What if they're 29?
29. It's like, see, and then like, so my little sister, she's just 5 years younger than me. And like, I still put her at like 13. And
she's stuck there, eh?
She's stuck there.
Yeah.
She has a career. She has a house. She drives a car. Like, she's got a boyfriend. Like, it's like she's an adult. And I'm like, she said it. She swore the other day, and I looked at her and I was like, no, she's not 13.
Just checking.
Yeah. So it happens. And it hits you in the weirdest moments.
Right now. All right. How about you, Miss Franklin?
Well, I guess I just have the same story as Ryan. We both started on the same gig. We got asked to do the gig, and it was a good time. I think it was really rainy or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was really rainy, but it was still a great time, and just haven't looked back since.
So what I'm hearing is Stephanie. Sorry, my God, I have a friend named Steph, and do my best. So you were like, so Stephanie was like, "Hey, I want to do this thing," and you guys were like, "That sounds cool.
Why not?"
Yeah.
So where'd you guys all meet?
Well, we met at McEwen University, but at different times.
Oh.
Like, I met Aretha in one of my first years in the university, and I met Ryan in one of my last years at the university.
Cool.
I am the common denominator.
So you're the reason why experience points exists.
Sure. I think it's the other guys, but sure. Yes.
Well, no, he had the idea, but he's just in the idea, man. You put the action into play, right? Somebody could just be like,
there's always a binding factor.
I think there's a bridge here, and then somebody builds the bridge.
Yeah.
So who really built the bridge? The guy that went, I think there should be a bridge here, or the person who actually built the bridge.
Maybe it's a team effort.
Team effort. I love that.
Team effort.
Yeah.
So you guys like, is there anything you like wear special when you go out? Like, do you have like a uniform or costume? Or...
Like when we play?
Yeah.
I like to go for the video game nerdy look, which is not very fancy, and with colors. That's about it.
Gosh, she's good. Ryan?
Yeah, I usually just try and wear a certain sort of color, I guess, whether it be red or blue or something. Some pink color.
He likes to wear clothes.
Clothes.
You know, probably a t-shirt or a hoodie.
Maybe some sort of nerdy hat and like a pair of sunglasses
that's
that
just
sit
my
on
look.
top. That's Daniel here. Right?
Oh, I always wear my Zelda necklace. I forgot about that.
Oh, see, that's a piece.
Ah, there you go.
How about you, Aretha?
You know, I have a nice pair of Air Force One high tops that are like pink and blue. So I wear those because they're kind of like look like something perhaps a video game character would play or use.
Like it.
Uh-huh.
That's cool. So wait. So now we can watch who. That's a cello in the background, right? Like that's what I'm seeing.
It's a bass.
It's a bass. Oh, it's okay. Oh, wait. So is that what you play, or do you actually play like a bass guitar?
I play electric bass in this particular group, yeah. Although I think on our recording, I'm going to be playing this double bass that you see.
Damn.
That is nice looking.
That is so pretty. Like we went recently. Went to the Edmonton Symphony, where they were having their donor thing or whatever, and I just watched somebody sit there and play one, and I was just like, they got skill, and I envy that skill, and I do not have that skill, not at all. I have like, I look back at pictures of me playing the trumpet in like high school, and I was like, I did not have form. I did not have anything. I look like I played the trumpet in high school. And that's what that is, and I'm envious of you guys having this ability. That's pretty sweet, actually.
So let's get into this. Aretha, let's going to start with you this time because we're going to go back the other way around. What got you into music in the first place?
Well, you know, I played the violin when I was very young. I did actually want to play the double bass when I was young. That's for another time. But so I sort of been playing for a long time, but you know, I used to transcribe the music of Quest 64 when I was like 11 or 12 at the piano. So it definitely, video games have played a part, and sort of just progressed from there.
Cool.
Awesome. How about you, Ryan?
I think when I was like, before I remember it, when I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old, my dad put on a VHS tape of, I think it was like some sort of BC folk fest or something, of like this performance of a bunch of African drummers. Cool. And I guess I was just glued to the TV then, and then from then I just started just banging on pots and pans, and I had like a crappy pair of drumsticks that I would just like play on the floor, and I would have like an imaginary drum kit on the floor that I would just play.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
And yeah, from there I just never stopped drumming.
Did you ever do bucket drumming?
There's one point I made like a drum kit out of ice cream pails, and then I'd use the lids of those as cymbals, but it broke in like half an hour.
Oh. Cool.
How about you, Stephanie?
Well, I have 3 older siblings, and the 2 oldest played piano and decided to have a contest to see which younger sibling they could teach piano better to. So my sister took me, my brother took my brother, and then my sister and I won, I guess. I don't know. Then my brothers are just, they're really into games. And since I'm the youngest, I always just watch. But yeah, so they'd be playing the same games over and over again, and the piano's in the same room. So I just started like figuring out the songs that they were playing because they're on loop. And I'm not like a prodigy. It took years, but I eventually figured out songs by like high school. And then I think I was just playing it in the band room, and they're like, "You want to join jazz band?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that's like how I learned piano.
That's amazing. Cool.
See, I love these like how did you become what you are stories. I love them. They're great.
That's awesome. All right. Because we're quickly running out of time, and I have 2 episodes I got to do tonight, which is crazy because this is an unprecedented event for everyone out there on the Nerdcast land, which we're doing 2 episodes, and we got Sam tonight with us.
There was one. I came.
Yeah. Where can people find you guys on the web or wherever?
Yeah, we have a website. It's www.experiencepointsmusic.com. We also have a Facebook page, which is Experience Points, and we have Twitter, and we have Instagram. I think that's it. Oh, we have a SoundCloud and a YouTube.
You guys have a YouTube?
Yeah, we have a YouTube.
Nice.
That's cool. I think you guys should, because I know there is a ton of like 30-something nerds within the Edmonton community as being a 30-something nerd. You should totally like hit those like offbeat bride stuff, because I know there's one-offs where they're like, I want to walk down the aisle to, the theme song from this video game.
That's so funny. I just did a wedding like that for Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Perfect,
it does.
It was awesome.
That's the way to do it.
Because like, I mean, like, I'm a nerdy girl and I've had those dreams. So do it.
Yeah. Good suggestion. Thank you.
All right. So if you guys are out there looking for a band with a nerdy flair, here we go. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to take a quick little break. We're going to keep you guys on the hold here for the next little bit, as we're going to talk about some of the events that are coming up in the city. Maybe we can find out where you guys are playing next. You guys have a gig here coming up?
No, we're working on our album.
Ooh, okay. Well,
so no shows right now.
No shows. Wait, do you have Patreon? Can like people get like sneak peeks and stuff like that?
We had an Indiegogo that just finished.
Ooh. How did that go?
It was great. We got stuff.
Nice.
And people are getting stuff.
See,
everybody wins.
Good job for everybody that helped.
Everybody wins. All right. So when can people expect you to hear the new album?
In the fall.
Oh, nice. All right, we might have to come get you. I'm gonna be tripping over my words. We're gonna have to have you guys back here on the episode when this launches. How does that sound?
I think
that sounds great.
I think we should almost go see them play and get a Nerdcast of that.
Sure,
that'd be cool.
Awesome.
Next bar you're at.
All right. So for right now, we're gonna take a quick little break. And we'll come back. We're going to talk about some of the events that are coming up in the city. And so stay tuned. All right. Okay. So this edition of the Nerdcast is presented to you by the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. And if you guys go on over to albertapodcastnetwork.com, you guys can find a list of amazing Alberta-made podcasts. Yes, that's right. You guys can go over there and you guys can find all the new and great podcasts that are made all over this great province of ours, that is Alberta. And you guys can find them all on one place, albertapodcastnetwork.com. You guys can also find us on the CKUA app. So if you guys go onto your phone right now. No, I was kidding. You just wait till we're done in this episode and then go on your phone and then download that episode. You can download the CKUA app, and there you guys can find all the great episodes of the Alberta Podcast Network. We also have added so many new podcasts to our list, including The Mess Hall, a weekly podcast where Avery Cochran talks to comedians about food.
That actually sounds awesome.
Yes. So go check that out. Go check out all the other podcasts that we have on the network. And like I said, the list keeps growing. So go on over to albertapodcastnetwork.com for all those amazing podcasts. Also, I would like to take a quick moment, if I can find that thing. Oh, wait, hang on. This is how professional we are on the Nerdcast.
We can just blame the wine. We could just blame that.
We could. We do have the Alberta Podcast Network would like to invite you to celebrate Edmonton's incredible cultural and artistic diversity at Make Music Edmonton on June 21st. Businesses all along 124th Street will be transformed into sidewalk stages where you can enjoy for free from 5 to 9. The main stage show will be immersed by Chris Chang Yang Phillips of Let's Find Out and Karen Unland, president of the network. The Kaylee Cardinal Trio and many other great acts will be performing there. To find out more information about Make Music, you guys can go over to makemusicedmonton.ca.
No,
Make Music-Edmonton.ca. All right, that is it. All right, so we got just a bunch of various events that are coming up in the city that we would like to, point your guys' attention to. First off, we have YAG D&Ds on June 16th, which is a Saturday, from 7 to 8 at the Grindstone. You guys can find tickets for this event at grindstonetheater.ca. And YAG D&D is essentially just an improv D&D show. They got a big giant D20 that they roll around the audience. It's great. It's always good fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So go check that out at the Grindstone on June 16th. Moving along, we got...
This is something that I really want to do. So tomorrow night, June 11th, Knit Pearl Play. So it is hosted by Tabletop Cafe. They're having their crochet come play board game event. And for somebody who's always
she's knitting right now during this episode.
Crochet, it's different.
Crochet, sorry.
Knitting has
I know.
needles and there's 2. Crochet is a hook.
I'm aware.
We've talked about this. Anyways, so that's happening tomorrow night from 5 to 11 at Tabletop Cafe on 124th. So go check it out. I believe drop-in is just $5 for it right now. Dan can scroll down for me. I think it says it there.
No, it doesn't say anything.
It doesn't, but
I'm sure that's what it is, though.
Drop-in's like $5.
Yeah.
Go bring your crochet projects. They have a whole bunch of games where you don't have to like concentrate all of the time on, which is really good especially when you don't want to drop stitch count.
And if you are, and if you are listening to this episode, too late. Because the podcast comes out on Tuesday.
Oh, well, I'm going.
Yeah. All right. Moving along, we have June 15th. We have Pure Spec happening. We had them on the show. I think it was last week. Yeah. So go check that out. It's going to be a great event, and that is going to be happening at the Alberta Community Center on June 15th and 16th, and it's a free show.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a good small local show. Has a ton of people, like local exhibitors, like people that sew and make and the artists and everything. They have panels, they have everything, and it's just free. Just go in,
just go
hang out, see what's up.
It's a great time. It's a great community, and it's always fun.
There's ample parking, which is important.
And one more event I always like to mention, and it's way into August, but everything seems to be moving so fast. I'd like to just mention this. Fragapalooza 2018, and this is 4 days. 4 days of gaming at the Luke Recreation Center. This is pretty much going from the August 9th from 9 a.m. all the way, and it doesn't stop until August 12th at 5 p.m. So you guys can game 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever the 4 days worth of gaming is, and never sleep if you like. But I encourage you guys to sleep at some point during Fragapalooza. It's going to be a great time. Always a great community out there. So go and check that out. I want to thank Experience Points once again for joining us. Can people hear one more time where they can find you guys on the web and wherever?
Yeah. Our website, which is experiencepointsmusic.com. There's also Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. You guys have been amazing guests to have on our show. We are going to have to definitely talk to you guys once again when you guys release your album, because that sounds awesome.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Wait, sorry. One quick question. It's EXP Music Band?
Yeah.
On Instagram? All right.
Wow.
Followed.
Done.
Nice job, guys. It's a good day.
Thank you guys so much for coming out, and thank you guys for watching and or listening to this edition of the Nerdcast. And I'll see you guys on the next one, which is in a couple minutes. So just... if you guys are like watching this, you're going to have to like back out and then back into the new one, which I will send out the new link on Twitter right away. So stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Northern Nerdcast. Northern Nerdcast is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. Check out their website at albertapodcastnetwork.com. For all things geeky and nerdy, including all of our social media platforms, go to northernnerdnetwork.com. Thanks again. We appreciate your support.
Oh.